everybody, and welcome to Bazonblades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and we are back with another episode of Driving with Knives. And the knife we're carrying today is the Rock Knife Thor 7. Now, I've had this one on the tabletop for about a month now. I've carried it. We've got an upcoming in-depth review of it. Spoiler alert, it's pretty fucking badass. If you like that sort of artsy-fartsy sort of knife, then you will really like this one. I think it's a fantastic return for the cost. Now, the subject matter we're going to talk about today is the police. And before I get into that, let me take a drink of this cold beverage here because I am parched. And this is about the 15th take on this video, and my throat is about worn out. Oh my God. So, I wanted to sort of preface this video by saying I don't have anything against the police. I'm 52 years old. I've never been in trouble with the law in my life. The last interaction that I had with police was about 4 years ago. I got pulled over for speeding, and I was speeding. I was late for work. They popped me, and you know what? That's just the way it goes. So let's get out here and start driving a little bit, and we'll see what we can talk about here. So the topic of this, we're going to talk about the police. But what we're going to talk about specifically is the fact that you cannot rely on the police to protect you. And there's a few reasons for this. The first reason, foremost reason, is this. Police forces, regardless of their budget or their training level, are reactionary forces. Anybody that has had any degree of tactical training at all can tell you, if you are reacting to something, you are one step behind from the get-go. And it is damn near impossible to catch up in real life. The police are not at your house all the time protecting you. They don't follow you around protecting you. Police forces, police officers react to things that are already happening or have already happened. If you are sitting around your dining room table with your family and a bunch of thugs come busting in, it's a home invasion, they've got nothing but bad in mind. They're going to beat you up, they're going to kill you, they're going to take your wife and your children, and they're going to do things to them that you wouldn't want done to anybody, let alone somebody you love. The police are not there to protect you. Now, the police will come later on after the crime is reported, and they'll clean up the mess, and they'll call the ME in to take care of your dead body, and they'll have the EMTs take your wife and your kids up to the hospital and have rape kits done on them. But at that point, the damage is done. The police were not able to protect you. They are 100% all the time, always a reactionary force, period. That is all they can be. This is not science fiction. We do not have future cops. They cannot see future crimes. They are reacting to something that is happening or already happened. That is the main reason you cannot rely on the police to protect you. You are your first line of defense when it comes to your life, your family's life. You are the first line of defense. Always. Always. You are the only person you can rely on. The second reason that you cannot rely on the police to protect you, when you deal with the police, you are dealing with the police department. And in 2022, police departments are becoming increasingly political. They are more and more every day for-profit businesses. There are decisions made that have nothing to do with the safety of the public and everything to do with liability. Let's just take, for example, this recent school shooting where 19 little children lost their lives while police officers stood outside detaining parents. They detained parents from going in and rescuing their children while children were being murdered. Now, I don't know those police officers, and like I say, I don't have anything against any police officers. But I'm going to tell you right now, that seems like it was a bad decision. And there is going to be all kinds of backlash over that. You better fucking believe it. If there is anything that is going to piss a parent off, it's seeing the police standing there while their children are being fucking shot by some wacko with a fucking gun. Alright, I don't even have children. I'm fucking mad just talking about it. This is a bad decision making. Bad decision making. And like I said, I wasn't there. I'm not going to say anything about those cops. But that's another reason that you cannot rely on the police to protect you. The third thing is each of those individual officers is a different person with a different personality, different priorities. Some may be brave, some may be cowards, some may be smart, some may be dumb. Some may be physically capable of protecting you, and some may not be physically able to protect you. There are so many variables there. How can you rely on that police force to protect you and your family? You don't know those people personally. I mean, I live in rural East Tennessee in a little county. There's only like 25 or 27,000 people in this county. I don't know the police officers. I don't know them all. They don't know me. I'm just a fucking person out there. I can't rely on them. I can't rely on them to lay down their life to protect me. I just can't. Even if they are willing to, I can't rely on that. You've got to bet the numbers the way the numbers fall. You've got to rely on yourself. That's why I carry a firearm. The state of Tennessee has permitless carry. You can carry a firearm as long as you legally qualify, and me being a law-abiding citizen that's never been in trouble with the law, with no substance abuse issues or anything like that, I legally qualify for that, and I carry a firearm everywhere I go. I'm carrying a firearm right now, and the only place I've been today, I just went to my mom's house to take her birthday present. Happy 75th birthday to my mom. I love you very much. And then I stopped at the car wash and I sprayed the pollen off of my car. And then I stopped at the gas station and got a drink. I didn't have to get into a shootout at any of those places. I wasn't worried at all that my mom was going to attack me, or that, the car wash, there was something going to happen there, or at the gas station. But I do not want to be part of the 99.9% of victims of violent crime that always say the same thing. They always, man, woman, child, doesn't matter what race you are, what sex you are, what your religious beliefs are, they all say the same thing. I never thought it would happen to me. I wasn't prepared. That's not me. That's not me, because I already know that I can only rely on myself for my protection. The police are a reactionary force. They will not be there until after it's all said and done. And if I want to be alive, I have to rely on myself for protection. That's why I carry a firearm. Like I say, I don't want to talk bad about the police. It's not really the individual persons of the police at all that I'm concerned about. It's the fact that they are reactionary. They aren't there all the time. You don't have a personal police officer that's going to protect you. You don't have personal police officers that are going to go into your child's school and protect them 24/7. I mean, we're a nation, the United States is a nation of over 350 million people. What are we going to do? Are we going to bring in 350 million extra people just to be police officers so every person can have 24-hour protection? That's not feasible. It's not realistic. It's not logistically possible. The police are a reactionary force. That's all they will ever be. Like I say, no budget, no amount of training will ever change that. That's just the way the system works. That is why you cannot rely on the police to protect you. One of the most important realizations of your life is that you are responsible for protecting yourself. Go and take self-defense courses. Carry a firearm if you are legally able to carry a firearm. Make good decisions about what part of town you're going into. All of these things are primary in protecting yourself. You do not have to be walking around with a chip on your shoulder willing to do violence at all times in order to protect yourself. Like I said, I'm carrying a firearm today, carried one all day since I rolled out of the bed. It's been tucked into my waistband. I have not committed any acts of violence at all. All of my interactions with people have been hospitable. Okay, just because you have a firearm or you carry a knife in your pocket or you got a big stick tucked down the leg of your pants, I don't care. Just because you have those things does not make you bad. It does not make you violent. That is an ideal that is being sold to people for political reasons. Please forgive the shaking on the camera. Most of you know I do drive a sports car. It does have a very firm suspension. I apologize for any shaking and vibration. We'll just have to work through it. The media is selling to you how bad firearms are. Firearms are an inanimate object. They're not good or bad. They are not people. People are good or bad. Firearms are not. A firearm is no more bad than this car is. Cars kill thousands and thousands of people every year, year in and year out, since cars became popular, since they became accessible to the general populace. The prices were accessible. Cars have killed, who knows, millions of people. I don't fucking know. I'm not sort of some mathematician, some factinator. I'm sure the information's out there on the interwebs, but hammers kill people. People are murdered with hammers. People could be stabbed with an ice pick. They could be beaten to death with a shovel. They could be drowned. They could be strangled. I mean, literally millions of people die every year, but they don't all die from violence with a firearm. In fact, in the United States, feel free to look up these numbers, and most of these statistics are available through the FBI's website because they collect these statistics every year. Every year in the United States, more people are saved with a firearm by multiples of 1 billion. Okay, I think the unofficial numbers are like 1 million people every year use a firearm for self-defense, compared to, let's say, 10,000 people are killed with a firearm every year. Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm in my damn car. Let's say 10,000 people a year in the United States are killed with a firearm versus 1 million people a year that report using a firearm for self-defense. Statistically speaking, those numbers are so skewed as to be laughable. Okay? It's just like these poor 19 children that were killed in that school. Again, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but over the last 20 odd years, there have been approximately 160 or 170 children killed in school shootings. That seems like a lot, and it is. It is 160 or 170 too many. I don't want to see one child die. But when you look at the numbers, when you look at the math, and you realize there's over 350 million people in the United States, 160 children dying over 20 years is statistically insignificant. Okay? The media is trying to tell you that the United States has more of this violence than anywhere in the world. Not true. Not true. Per capita, the United States is not even in the top 10 as far as violence goes. Not even in the top 10 in the world of modern industrialized countries. Even as far as gun violence goes, we're nowhere near the top. But the media wants you to think that we are, because the media does not want you to have firearms. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. They want you to rely on the government to protect you. You can't rely on the government any more than you can the police department, because the government jobs, political jobs, are where people that are too fucking stupid to work real jobs go to work. Okay? Turn on the TV, look at your president, your vice president, the members of the House and the Senate. They are all fucking idiots. All of them. All of them. They do not give a fuck about you in any shape, form, or fashion, and they're all too damn dumb to work a real job. Okay? Nobody will ever convince me any different than that. Because I work a real job. And I'm going to tell you right now, some of the stupid ass shit that they say, if I said that at my job, my boss would look at me like I was the biggest idiot they ever saw. So you can't rely on the government any more than you can rely on the police to protect you. You can only rely on you. You can only rely on you. You cannot rely on the police to protect you. Get that through your head. I don't care if you carry a firearm like I do. I don't care if you carry a knife, a sharpened stick. I don't care. I don't care what your personal beliefs about those things are. You need to realize the police cannot protect you. When you turn on the TV and you start seeing the things that are happening in modern society, cities that are on fire, crowds of thousands of people in a violent mob running through a city, burning and looting and killing people, okay? That's not a fucking Hollywood movie. That shit's really happening. There's people that are being killed by those mobs. The police can't protect them. The police are standing there doing nothing because the police departments are controlled by politics. And again, we go back to politicians who are idiots and do not give a fuck about you. They do not care about you. The 19 children that died, did they die because the police were cowards and they didn't want to get shot? Did they die because the police were cowards and they didn't want to lose their job by disobeying orders? Did they die because of whatever? They died because there wasn't anybody protecting them. That's why they died. They didn't die because of a gun. They didn't even die because that crazy guy had a gun. They died because there wasn't anybody to protect them. Crazy people will get guns. Bad guys will get guns. These people will do harm to other people. They're bad people or they're crazy people. That's just a fact of life. The thing is, what makes the difference is whether there is somebody there to protect you, to protect your children, to protect your family, and that person is you. It's not the police. It's not the police department. It's not the government. It's not any of those things. It is you. That's it. Think about it. Think about it. Look around you right now. Well, it doesn't matter where you are. You're in your car like Bazonblades is. You're sitting in your office at work. You're in a factory. You're in a store. You're whatever you're doing. Look around you right now. Who is there to protect you? There's no one there to protect you. Look around you. There is literally no one there to protect you. The police are 10 minutes down the street and they'll come, scoop your brains up off of the ground or, take your wife and kids down to the hospital for the rape kit or whatever after the deal's done, but there's nobody there to protect you. You've got to come to that realization. I think everybody in the United States at least has to come to that realization. I can't speak for the rest of the world. I'm not a worldly person. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the world. I can only speak for where I am in the United States, in East Tennessee. I'm looking around right now. Within sight, I'm on a highway. Within sight, there is no police officer anywhere. Nowhere. If somebody pulled up right beside me in a road rage incident, pointed a gun at me and pulled the trigger, there's nobody here to protect me. And there's nobody standing next to you to protect you. The police cannot protect you. They can only react to what is happening or has already happened. A sad fact of life, and something that we all need to accept as truth. We need to accept it as truth. So, there we go. Another episode of Driving with Knives Down. This is a long episode. I've drove all over the place. Reviews coming up. It's summertime. We're going to get out and do some shooting. Ammunition prices have finally come down. I did see that freedommunitions.com had 115 grain and 124 grain 9mm FMJ at $14.99 a 50. So we're going to be getting some ammo soon. I've still got to put rounds through the Taurus GX4, which is what I'm carrying. It's got about 500-ish rounds through it right now with zero issues at all. I've not had any type of failure with it at all. It's super accurate, a joy to shoot. I am pimping that gun to everybody that I can talk to. And anyway, more content coming up. And that's it. That's it from Bazonblades with driving with knives. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch one of my super duper shaky videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again. Stay safe.